Hey folks, welcome back to MusicalConman plays Slay the Spire. Last time we did a Watcher run, but that's because we had a clever little strategy here to get our Ascension levels on track, which is to go Watcher, Defect, and Watcher. So, it's Defect time. One unlock remaining, let's see if we can get it. So, get a card, enemies, easy fights, transform, or boss relic swap. Now, I don't really like this one very often. Remove 2 cards and replace them with 2 random cards can be okay, but then a curse is just rough. So let's see what our map looks like. We've got a super elite here, but there's no way to get to it with the 1 HP fights. So if we go this way, we could do some fights, elite, campfire, elite, campfire. So we could do 2 elites. If we really wanted to, we could do 3 elites this act, but if we do 3 elites, we only get 1 campfire. I think it's either boss relic swap, but giving up cracked core really hurts your damage early on. Let's choose a card to obtain. Alright, so recursion is... it's okay, but I think we're looking at either beam cell or streamline, and streamline is just a card with a big number on it, and that's often what you're looking for in Act 1. Let's see. If we wanted to fight all the elites, we could go this path or this path. They both have the same number of campfires. This one has a few more. Let me see, 1, 2, 3. 3 question marks and a bunch of hallway fights. This has about the same. So those paths are identical if we wanted to fight all the elites. But I think if we start here, it offers us a lot of flexibility for where we want to go later. So we could streamline to just knock one of them out. But I would like to full block. Our lightning is going to do a little damage. They're both attacking, so let's just try not to take any damage. They continue to both attack, but I'd like to introduce them to dual cast. Cool. And we can finish that there. So, no damage. Ooh. Okay. So Sunder is another card with just a big number on it. Glacier, it's a pretty early Glacier, but Glacier is a really good card to have. It's a huge block card, and since we already have a streamline, I kind of want to take a chance on it. Sunder is good for elite fighting, but it's not that good later on. Glacier is good, pretty decent now, and really good later on. Okay, trade some health for gold. We could go to this shop here and get an extra campfire instead of an extra elite. Let's get a little money and see how we're feeling at this node. Alright, Glacier is a nice block card, but they don't seem to be attacking, and next turn we've got decent odds of blocking or just killing. So, with 2 lightning orbs, pretty good odds that 75% chance that at least one of them will hit that. And it did. Alright. We are going to take a little damage here because we did not play Glacier, and maybe it was right to play Glacier there, but... wait! It dies. We can take another Streamline. We don't really love that. Recursion isn't really usually great unless you have a Dark Orb. I don't really want to take another Streamline. But we've added a Glacier, and we don't have any other damage except strikes, so I think it's another Streamline. Not really what I wanted, but it's what it is. With 200 gold and 64 health, I would like to get an upgrade on one of those streamlines. I think it's reasonable to go this path. Okay, get a relic and a curse, or just get max HP. I think I'm willing to remove this at the next shop. We get Eternal Feather. Healing whenever you enter a rest site. Ooh, okay. There's a lot of good stuff we like here. Clockwork Souvenir is quite good. Ball Lightning is card we really love, and Defragment is like the best card later on. So I think we always buy the Defragment. So we could buy Defragment and Clockwork Souvenir. We could afford that. We could also do Defragment, Ball Lightning, and Card Remove. I think that helps us the most right now. Clockwork Souvenir is pretty good later on. We're always buying the Defragment, and we're probably going to upgrade the Defrag at this node. So this is the safe play, and this is the ambitious play. I think because we have a bunch of healing coming up, I want to go for the ambitious play. Because Ascension 4, it's pretty safe. Defragment upgrade is good. I could consider a Streamline upgrade for 5 more damage, but you know, if we have if we have 2 orbs, this upgrade starts to do a lot for us. So, we could go for a 2 elite path either direction. This 2 elite path has a campfire first. This 2 elite path has a campfire later. So the question is, do we have something we want to upgrade now or later? Nothing here is really an incredible upgrade yet. And I'm willing to fight 2 elites in a row with what we've got, then heal up at that campfire. I think we'll be okay. Yeah. Alright, this is our last normal difficulty hallway fight. Your first 3 are normal difficulty, and then after that they are hard hallway fights. So we'll just defend and deal 15 damage. Well, 18 with our lightning orb. Defrag. So now this deals 5 damage per turn. It's attacking for 11, but if we Glacier, we block for a bunch. However, we can also just murder it, and since Regret is going to deal damage to us, we should just finish it off. I like a charge battery. It's good. We have a Glacier, but it's good to have one other front-loaded block card. Alright, onto Elite, we get the Gremlin Knob. This is a pretty bad turn 1. I wonder if I should use a skill potion here. I can't use it later in the fight, and I think I'd like to. Overclock, I'll take it. Alright, so now we get to deal a little damage. We really would have liked to play either Glacier or Zap this turn to get some orbs without buffing its strength. But it is what it is. So we could get more energy next turn. But we don't really use all our energy since we're trying to minimize playing skills, so we're just going to hit it with strikes. Alright, we always Streamline. And given that we have a Defrag, Zap does more damage than Strike. But it does hit us for a little more. We're never playing Defend here. So, if we play Zap, it goes down to 40 health. If we play Strike, it goes down to 37 health this turn. Then, next turn, let's say we did Streamline Defrag. That's 15. And then with 1 orb, we deal 20 damage next turn. So down from 40 to 37 to 17. With 2 orbs, we would deal 2 lightning orbs. We would deal 15 plus 10, so 25, so it'd be from 40 down to 15. So that does deal more damage. We're never going to kill next turn. We can kill the following turn with either path. Another option next turn would be Defrag and Glacier. So Glacier would block for 7, and then each Frost Orb would block for 4. So it would be 8 block each turn. But then it's at, let's say, from 37 down to 32 next turn. But we have a bunch of block. But then we have to survive an extra turn to minimize damage. I think we just want to maximize damage output here, so we're just going to get hit real big for a couple of turns here. Regret again. Ouch. I don't think it changes what we have to do. So these deal 5 damage at the end of each turn. You know what? This evokes for 10. Maybe the best path is to just Glacier here. So that blocks for 15. Increases strength by 2. Pretty good trade. I think that's the move. Now I've got an upgraded Streamline, and a Zap will do it. Alright, we got a Pantograph, so with Eternal Feather and healing at every rest site, and Pantograph healing at every boss fight, we really get a lot of good stuff going that way. I kind of like a Darkness. It is a good way to kill bosses. But, so if we just get a Darkness and 2 Frost Orbs going with a bunch of focus, we can just kind of sit and chill. Rip and Tear is a good way to end fights quickly, but I'd like to try a Darkness here. We could go Elite then Campfire, or we could go Campfire then Elite. I would kind of like to get that healing first, but do we have a card to upgrade, really? I mean, we could upgrade Glacier. We know we're not fighting Gremlin Mob, and Glacier upgrade is really good against the 2 elites that aren't Gremlin Mob. I'm okay with that. Happy Flower. Every 3 turns, gain energy. I'll take it. So now we're up to 46 health. I mean, Streamline upgrade isn't bad, but Glacier is where it's at. Alright, just gonna try and inflict a debuff on us, but we have 1 artifact. So, the 2 options here are Streamline or just Zap Glacier. If we Zap Glacier, our defense is really strong. And I don't think our offense is strong enough that Streamline is good here. So you can see, like, we thought we might need to put Streamline in our deck just to win some early fights, and then we got a Defrag plus. Let's channel Darkness here. Then we'll do 12 damage. Get it pretty close. Next turn, ideally we get a Defrag. We do. So now we're blocking for 8 for free. We can charge battery. We could dual cast to fully block. We could also just strike to break it. I'd like to just get this. Yeah, 33. I'd like to get this Dark Orb charged up enough to just end its life. We do have to deal with that regret, but we can play 4 cards. But then if we split it this turn, it's harder to kill. I'm okay taking 1 extra damage by not playing Strike. So we take 2 from regret. Okay, cool. So now we Glacier, and we dual cast. And our Happy Flower is at 2, which is the best number to be at, usually. I love a Compile Driver here, just card draw. Card draw is kind of bad with regret, but we're going to try and get rid of that soon. Go for the Eyes is decent, but we don't even really just have a good 1 energy attack common. So let's Glacier, Compile Driver, and we could get a Zap in front, evoke for 8 randomly. We could dual cast, but we don't have another orb coming for a little while. We could also charge battery, extra energy next turn, but I think damage is a priority. So do we need a 6 damage, 16 damage, or 11? I think we might want to fill that final spot with a Darkness Orb. But also, that would be a good way to block by evoking a Frost Orb. But if we keep the Frost Orbs, we're blocked really good forever. So I'm just going to do some damage. If we can kill one of them and get some Frost Orbs up and stacked, we're pretty well blocked. So this blocks for 4. So we always defend, and I think we channel our Darkness here. So we take 6. Could have maybe used a Colorless Potion there. But if we just defrag here, we could strike to deal 12, but I think it's good to deal more than 12, even if we take 1 extra. So now we block for 8 every turn, and as soon as we can destroy that, we're only getting attacked for 10 every turn. It's good to draw cards. It feels weird to deal 15 damage just to kill one of them. But we're doing really good already. So now we just need to get this Dark Orb towards the front. Play a few cards. So now if we can get another Glacier, then we can dual cast to win the fight. And that's exactly what we're going to do. Doesn't quite win the fight, but it's pretty close. Strike will do it from here. Next turn we're guaranteed to draw an attack. So I'm just going to wait, get my Happy Flower up to a better number. Next turn we have no idea what we'll draw, so I think it's wise to just take it out. We could bottle a skill. Consume is pretty good, but we don't have any extra orb slots right now. Reinforced Body is pretty safe. If we wanted to bottle something, what would we bottle? Bottle Glacier, maybe? Nothing here is really that good to have in your hand in every single fight. Overclock draws cards on turn 1, but do you want to do that in every fight? Kind of. If you upgrade it, it's decent. But is Overclock a card we super want in our deck? Consume is good, but we just don't have any extra orb slots. But it's good, but we don't have orb slots, but it's good. Reinforced Body is a great way to spend energy. We do have a Charge Battery and a Happy Flower, so Reinforced Body is good for that. On the other hand, we have a Charge Body and a Glacier, so I wonder if our blocking needs are kind of met for the moment. I just don't think there's a skill we want in every fight. Glacier is okay. Especially if we can get our Happy Flower stacked so that we have 4 energy on turn 1. But I just don't know. I'm going to be ambitious and take a Consume. I'm not sure if it's the best choice for our deck, but it's kind of fun. Bottling a Charge Battery is block that gives us energy the next turn, but are we that excited about playing Charge Battery if we draw like Defragment, Streamline, or whatever else? We could bottle Zap and reduce its cost to 0, but Zap is not a great card to have in your opening hand. I think we just skipped this one? It feels bad to skip it. I'm gonna try Glacier turn 1. It's a good card. Most of the time. Alright, give me a Streamline. Okay, that's a good start. And give me 7 block. Alright, I like you, kid. You speak my language. Give me another Streamline. No matter what, we want to draw cards. We could use a colorless potion here, but what does it give us that we want? We have 5 energy, so we should definitely draw some cards. If we get this thing down to 1, it'll get 7 block and it'll be at 8, which is vulnerable to dual cast. On the other hand, if we don't, it's vulnerable to dual cast. This thing gains less block from attacking it, so then that can be attacked there. Then we always defend, and this deals 2 extra damage, this deals a bunch of damage. Either way, it's a 3 health or 2 health, but I like having focus. And this guarantees that it dies to Lightning Orb this turn. So let's play our shiny new Consume, and blast it. You know what, could have thought about Happy Flower there, but didn't. Okay, we don't want Streamline. Do we want White Noise? White Noise would have been kind of silly to bottle, just a random power. We do have a Dark Orb now, and we have a Consume, so Recursion has gotten a little better. I'm gonna try it. Glacier? Glacier, good. And we could get more energy next turn, or we could just deal a little damage. And I like damage. well, we play all the cards. Take 4. Or no, we take 3. Regret only hit for 1. And we... Do we think we can kill it next turn? Next turn we have Defragment. Next turn we have Zap, Recursion, Dual Cast. So we know we can kill it with the Dark Orb, so let's get Happy Flower up to 2. It does not block enough to stop that. So, Zap, Recursion, and 36 damage. We get a Flex Potion. Flex Potion is good with Clockwork Souvenir, because you just get 5 strength for the rest of the fight. All of these are pretty bad, so we're not going to take any of them. Take an upgrade, and we get, let me see, 20. So we get 12 HP now, and we're going to get another 25 from Pantograph. So it is upgrade time. Consume upgrade is decent. If we're going to have a consume, we want it upgraded. More focus is nice. Okay, Defragment, Glacier, and Darkness. I think we want to have the Darkness later. So this turn is going to do a big attack. We're going to see if we can just take it. We're not trying to split here. And Recursion is pretty good. Gets our Dark Orb a little closer to the front. So we take 9, but we're getting this Dark Orb big. What do we draw next turn? We could have a Dual Cast. So right now we block for 4 every turn from Frost. Sorry, 8. If we do this, we go from 8 to 7, but our Dark Orb grows faster. And we can get this down to 5 mode shift, I guess it's called, and reduce the cost of our Streamline. We do take a little damage there. So we'd be attacked for 28. Let's draw some cards. So we're no longer being attacked. Just play a couple of Streamlines. We could Zap and then Dual Cast this Dark Orb, but we're trying to get it real big, and we're going to be glad to have it next turn. So let's reduce the cost on both of those. Because we have 47, we can afford to lose 47 more health, and we heal it all back up at the end of the boss fight. If we Recursion, we'll put that Dark Orb in front, and then we can just probably kill it with the next Dual Cast. We could also Darkness, put this in front, then Recursion to deal 44's damage and put it back, but I don't think there's any need for that. I think we'd like to have this Frost Orb next turn. We are very fully blocked, so we'll play a Strike. We could Consume, but I think this thing is already growing enough. And I'd rather have the 7 block from the Frost Orb. So if we just defend, we're fully blocked. Thanks to our Frost Orb with 5 focus. If we just charge battery and do this, we are fully blocked. We can Dual Cast for 144. That's not bad. And then next turn... Yeah, I mean, how much damage do I want to kill it with? That seems fine. And we'll Glacier to block before we attack it, and then we'll Strike. Not that our health matters, but we finish with Happy Flower at 2. We get a Cultist Potion. Colorless Potion is pretty garbage. 1 strength every turn is pretty not. See, Seek is exactly the kind of skill you want to bottle. 26 damage to all enemies is a huge amount of damage to all enemies. Lose 3 focus does kind of suck. I think it is blocked by Clockwork Souvenir. I'm not sure about that. I think Seek is really good though. we really want to find that defragment. Sometimes we really want to find a consume or recursion. I wish we could transfer the Seek into the bottle. So Hyper Beam is great early because it has a big number, and it gets worse later. Because the downside is significant in longer fights. I think we're strong enough that we can afford to take Seek. And no upgrades, or no gold, or no boss relic. We definitely want to have 4 energy. I really like upgrades. On the other hand, we have a defragment upgrade and a consume upgraded already. A Seek upgrade would be nice. On the other hand, no gold sucks. We have to remove this regret. With Eternal Feather, we're really incentivized to go to rest sites, and if we can't upgrade, we don't have a good thing to do there. I'm going to take Ectoplasm. No gold is a shame, but this just means we're going to campfires more often than shops. That said, do we want to go to an early shop to remove our regret? I mean, yes, because it's not only is it dealing a little bit of damage to us, it's also just the worst card in our hand every time we draw it. We'd love to remove some strengths. I think events are great for us right now. We have all our strikes, so we like the bite event. We like the apparition event because it really helps us just win the game. We like the strike and defend upgrade event a lot, so there's 3 events we really love. So we could do 2 elites this way, 3, or we could do 3 elites this way and a super elite. And this has 1, 2 campfires and 2 events. If we go this way, we could go event, 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 event. So that's 4 events, then 2 elites, another event, 2 campfires, another elite. But I think that's just way better than all those hallway fights. There's also this path where you go to 2 shops. We go to 3 events in the same time that this goes to 4. But wasting a floor on a shop that we don't need seems rough. We could just spend that money on card remove twice, which is pretty good. Just remove regret and then remove something else. And then we just try to avoid shops for the rest of the run. We're always going to go to a shop in Act 4, but usually, you know, we don't really want to be bringing gold to that. That's kind of a waste. I think this is just a bunch of events, though. Let's just take it. In fact, I know it's a bunch of events. Glacier is good. And play the cards. Take a little bit from regret. It's going to do a big debuff that doesn't do anything to us. Would I like to have 2 Frost Orbs with a bunch of defense, or a Dark Orb and a Frost Orb? I think a Dark Orb and a Frost Orb is good. So I'm going to... Let me see. Yeah. Zap, Consume, and Darkness. So now we'll get that working. Cool. What would we want to seek into our hand? We're always doing this. Might as well draw some cards. We could also just keep the Seek. We could Recursion and Dual Cast right now, or we could Dual Cast and then Recursion to do it and then channel it. So we could deal 30 damage right now. I don't think that's compelling. We could deal 15 but lose our Frost Orb. Or we could just put this in front for our next Dual Cast. We could Seek just to get through next turn, but we've got a bunch of block next turn. I think we'll be fine. We'll save Seek so that the next time we draw it's another Dual Cast. 5 energy. So we play 5 cards. Alright, give me that Dual Cast. I'm done with you. Could have thought about Happy Flower, didn't. Ancient Potion is nice. Ooh. So Cool Headed is good, but with a Bottled Glacier we've got Frost Orbs, and with Consume we don't have a lot of slots. I love genetic algorithm. You know this. Ancient Potion is good. We don't really have... But we have a Clockwork Artifact, and we don't have any cards that benefit from Ancient Potion. So I think we keep the potions we got. Alright. Removing the Regret would be nice, but I would like to upgrade all our strikes and defense. Excellent event. Apparition event. Lose 38 max HP, but get 5 incredible cards. Is there ever a case to not do that? If we get 5 free turns, we just win most fights, right? Once we get our focus going, we're really strong. Easy. Easy choice. So we could get a curse that's hard to remove or spend gold. I think this is worth it. Then we can only afford 1 card remove. Ooh, Duvu Doll. Strength for each curse. Wish we'd had that for a while now. And Ritual Dagger event. I like Ritual Dagger. So Ritual Dagger and Genetic Algorithm. Also, money is worthless to us, because we can't get it. So, we got some interesting things to play with now. Always Glacier. We're being attacked for 34, as we usually are. Maybe this would have been a... You know what? I should have played Dex Potion here. It's not too late to play it now. This blocks for more, but this gives energy next turn. Currently locked for 18. Yeah, I think I should have used Dex Potion. So we're taking 2 damage we didn't have to. So we take 7. But we got 5 apparitions in these 23 cards. Not yet, though. Wow. Alright. So we got enough energy to play everything. So strike for sure. Sorry, defend for sure. Strike for sure. I think we want to maximize our block here. This is a big, dangerous turn. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to Darkness. Then we're going to Consume. So goodbye, Darkness. My no longer friend. But we block for 24. I would love an Apparition. Okay, we got our Ritual Dagger. No Apparitions. So all 5 Apparitions are in the bottom 13 cards, and so is Seek. So we're going to attack for 15, but that's pretty easy to block. So we will... That does not quite kill it, does it? I really want to kill one of them this turn, so I'm going to Flex Potion. You know what? Maybe I should have Flex Potioned at the start of the fight. Man, this Apparition event is not my friend right now. But let's become intangible for a while. So now we've got 2 free turns, so we can just start working on things we like. We could seek a Apparition. Let's just play another Apparition. Recursion doesn't really do anything for us. So you got 3 more turns to do whatever we want. We took a lot of damage and used 2 potions, because we couldn't draw any of our stupid stinking Apparitions. But we're getting there. Of course, now all the wounds are on the top. There's a lot of wounds in our deck. This middle one has been attacking us a lot of times. We got 1 more turn after this of invincibility. Yikes. So from 14 to 10 doesn't seem worthwhile here. Alright, so this turn it starts actually attacking, but I don't think it can ever actually harm us. Yikes. Where are all my cards? So many wounds. But with 14 block every turn, I don't think this ever attacks for more than 14. So, we're gonna be alright. Finally finished the fight, but yikes. Mercury Hourglass. Start your turn, deal 3 damage to all enemies. Pretty nice. Overclock could be good. I like to go for the eyes. With all these Apparitions, I'll suddenly have more reasons to draw cards. Sunder is nice, but I think Overclock Plus is pretty okay here. Go for the Eyes is really good at blocking, but we already have all these apparitions, and if we want to block with those. So we could remove that curse, but I want to go to this other elite fight. You know, I could also go to a campfire before I go to an elite. But then I only get one campfire. If I go this way, I get 2 campfires, and I think we can survive it. We had phenomenally bad luck that time. Okay, we're getting attacked for 18. That is not a problem. We have 5 energy, which is great. Let's draw a card. Work on the weak one. Mercury Hourglass will be nice here. So we're currently blocked for 14, so we could deal 8 damage. Or we could deal 8 damage, hey, to the same target even, and get some energy next turn and move on. Wow, getting attacked for 18 again. Well, Apparition is actually pretty useless here. We could kill that one. What do we want to seek for? Seeking for Defrag blocks a bunch. Seeking for Consume blocks even more. Seeking for Overclock lets us do multiple things. Seeking for Overclock helps us spend energy. So we're currently being attacked. If we kill that, we're being attacked for 12, and we blocked for 4. If we get a Consume, we block for 10. But I think we'd like to do a couple things this turn, so let's just Overclock it. Dual Cast blocks pretty well. Okay, we are fully blocked. Do I want to get a Darkness going, or just deal 5 extra damage? I think I'd like to just deal 5 extra damage. Cool. So now that thing dies to Ritual Dagger. Now it especially dies to Ritual Dagger, but it probably just dies to Hourglass. Let's get this a little lower. Take 1 damage from Regret. Alright, give me a sword. Big sword. Alright. Did we even get to play our genetic algorithm that game? I'm not sure we did. So Compile Driver is more card draw, which is nice. Or we take a Reinforced Body. I think we need another just big block card for the turns where we don't draw our apparitions. And we're getting a lot of energy with Ectoplasm, Happy Flower, Charge Battery. I think it's good to sink energy into that. Alright, let's take this fight. Just please draw me, like, apparitions ever. Okay, so we could play it now. It doesn't really do anything for us. Glacier Streamlines seems like the play to me. Do we want to start working on these little things, or just damage the big one? I'm going to use Cultist Potion in this fight, I think. This fight does spook me, and I'd just like to ensure that we get through it. Because if we get through this, we get to a chest and 2 campfires and another event, and I think at that point we're a lot stronger for the boss. This potion would be great against the boss, but I think we can blast that boss with Dark Orbs. So, let's gain some strength every turn. Get that down to 1, get that down to 0. Or hit that. I'd like to get that down to 0. Because it's going to be blocked next turn, so it doesn't die to Mercury Hourglass unless it dies to Lightning Orb right now. I'd just like to have fewer enemies on the field. Shame. It would have died to Lightning Orb if we'd played that. Cool, it doesn't attack this turn. What do we want to seek for? Ritual Dagger does not matter against this thing. We got an Apparition. Seek for Consume. Consume is pretty good. If we get a big nasty Dark Orb in there, maybe we just defrag first. Huh. Then what do we do with this recursion? You know what, we'll just do this to move it forward, so that way, if we do choose to consume, it won't eat it. Alright, not that many attacks coming in. We got a lot of apparitions. They are ethereal, so we play them. Since we're intangible next turn, I don't know how much it matters to kill this one. It is going to take away our artifact charge. So I think that's a good reason to get rid of it. Alright, we got a couple more intangible left on the deck. We're intangible for free this turn. We could move this Dark Orb to the front and dual cast it, but I don't think we want to dual cast it yet. We want to dual cast it on our next run through the deck. Question mark? I think we're always going to streamline the big one here. We might get an apparition next turn, we might not. I'm okay with this. Mercury Hourglass is going to deal a little more to that. It is, however, being blocked. Alright. Draw a bunch of cards, get working on that dual cast. I think we play this first. Get this a little lower. Play this. Or we could just kill them both. Kill them both and consume. Apparition goes away at the end of the turn anyway, so let's just get rid of them. We're getting a lot of strength here, so we could just start blasting it through attacks, I guess. Could have done an apparition and 3 strikes here. That might have been good. Not looking like we're necessarily going to get the Ritual Dagger off, but we can try. Draw some cards. Genetic Algorithm is nice. We could Darkness and then Recursion to deal 41 damage right now. Or we could wait for Dual Cast to deal a bunch of damage, but it could deal it to the little things. Sucks to give up our Frost Orb, but hopefully we won't need it. So this turn cool, we don't die. It's not doing a big attack. Dual Cast is pretty good. If we dual cast and then Glacier, it just dies. But I would love to kill it with Ritual Dagger if possible, so that means I cannot use Glacier here. We have Streamline and Strike, so even if it blocks with 7 strength, that is 24 plus 14, so we have 38 damage next turn. I don't think it blocks for that much. We're taking a bit of a risk here. Also, we have Mercury Hourglass. Alright, it just gains strength. Let's draw some cards. Next turn it's going to summon. We have 5 focus. So if we lightning, it will die. Let's just strike. Next turn it takes 3 from Mercury Hourglass, so any damage kills it. Alright. Moment of truth. Do we get it or don't we get it? It is going to block, so we actually have a little more truth movement. I'm going to lose an orb slot so that anything will activate it. I'll kill one of these so that if we channel this, it's more likely to hit that. It is blocking, so it will not die to Mercury Hourglass. And I want to... Oh, it only blocks its friends. It doesn't block itself. Well, that's a shame. Max HP raise is awesome. After we gave up half our HP to apparitions. Really happy to get it back up to 47. Smoke Bomb is a nice way to get out of a fight. Rebound. Is there anything we want to rebound? The cards we really want to play. Consume we can't really afford to play more times. Defrag and Genetic Algorithm and Seek and Apparition and all of these we only get to play once per fight. There's no point in a rebound. I don't think we need another Darkness. Rip and Tear was good with the Cultist Potion and we already used that. Dreamcatcher. When you rest, you may add a card into your deck. Or we could just get our Sapphire Key. With an Eternal Feather and a Pantograph. I don't think we're resting that much. We have gotten up to 30 cards. So this has gone up to 18 health when we go into it. That's plenty. Let's get another event. We get a shot. We really love Defragment, but We never get money. Oh, Runic Capacitor would be like the best relic we could get right now, just about. That's a shame. These are some really good relics we can't afford. Regret is giving us a strength. Defrag is very good. We could card remove and get another reinforced body. We don't need that. I'm actually considering getting a defrag and keeping the regret in our deck. The strength isn't a huge deal, but it helps in hallway fights. But it's such a bad card. But defrag is such a good card. Doom and Gloom is nice against multi-target enemies. But we have 5 apparitions, and we really want to draw them, so I think we just have to get rid of things that suck. We're gonna have to go to a shop again, but potions might not be affordable in the future. But these potions aren't really ones we're super excited to take. I think we're just gonna move on, keep our 53 gold, get a bunch of healing. So upgrading a Ritual Dagger or a Genetic Algorithm is more scaling, but I think it scales slower than other things we can do. I think Seek is the best upgrade here. Eventually we'd love to upgrade Apparitions, but like, not really a priority. Let's upgrade Seek. As much as I'm excited about Genetic Algorithm and Ritual Dagger scaling, usually by the time you get to Act 3, they are big enough. That's the main thing. You just don't need them to be bigger than they are. It would be nice to do a Streamline. I think we always Glacier, and the only question is Streamline or Genetic Algorithm Strike. So this gets this out of our deck. It's basically a defend. Can we block for long enough to play it again? I think the answer is yes. Also though, if we can do that, do we need to do the damage? And I think the answer is no. So let's just get that out of the way. Next turn we get an extra energy from Happy Flower. 21 damage coming in, but we got 5 energy, we got Seek. Let's draw some cards, see what we get. What do we want? Defragment Consume, it gives us 5 focus, so this box for 14. And then we can Recursion. Yeah, it seems good. I think there's a lot of ways we could play this fight that result in us taking no damage. So let's just do one of them. Okay, and then we play any of these, and they block. Alright, so now we've got 5 focus and 2 frost orbs. So as soon as we can destroy that thing, we're doing decent. Just play a couple apparitions. Next turn, we play however many apparitions we draw. We kill that with Ritual Dagger if we get the chance. We get the chance. We're going to do next turn, or just get started on the long process of killing it. You can see which I've chosen. More intangible. And if we're intangible for 3 turns, let's just get a lightning orb to start doing damage. We got to deal 54 more. So 8 damage a turn is helpful for that. We're intangible next turn. Let's just deal all the damage we can possibly deal. I could have consumed first, I suppose. We have a dual cast in our deck, as well as a Glacier. Let's make a big Dark Orb, it's fun. It would kill it faster to not do that, but it's fun. Next turn, we get dual cast, or we get card draw. If we get dual cast, the fight just ends, and it's kind of funny. The fight just ends, and that's kind of funny. We could just block a bunch, but like, to get Happy Flower, but I think we're fine. Thunderstrike, pretty bad. Cold Snap is another way to channel Frost Orbs, but we have a bottled Glacier, and we're usually playing at turn 1. Thunderstrike is hot garbage. We have Cracked Core and 1 Zap, so this on average is 7 damage like twice. It can be good in some decks, it's just not a lot of decks. Because usually if you can channel a ton of Lightning Orbs, you do your damage by channeling a ton of Lightning Orbs. So do you really need to do a little extra damage on top of that? Or would you rather have a card that just helps you keep channeling a ton of Lightning Orbs? You can have a deck that channels a ton of Lightning Orbs and wants a finisher, it's just rare. Claw is just not takeable here. We have so much energy and not enough card draw. I like Cold Snap as a way it's another way to move orbs around. I really wish we could get some more orb slots, but you know what? You don't choose everything in life. So if Reinforced Body is a nice safe upgrade, Ritual Dagger is, or Genetic Algorithm or upgrades if we think we're fine. We only have 1 potion and it does not help in the boss fight. An Apparition upgrade might help in this boss fight. A Darkness upgrade I don't think we need. Recursion upgrade is good, but we're usually not having trouble playing all our cards with 4 and 1/3 energy. Plus charge battery. So with 4 and sometimes 5 energy. Sometimes 6. Upgrading an Apparition to save for later in the fight is pretty useful. Okay, how are we beating Champ? I think the way we're beating Champ is we're just getting as much focus as we can. We're getting a Dark Orb, and then we're just sitting and holding still until we can dual cast to kill it in 1 shot. With that in mind, and I think our deck can do that already. I think once we get that set up, our block isn't going to be a problem. So it's okay to have our Apparitions in the first half. So we're just thinking about upgrades that help us in the next act. Reinforced Body is nice front-loaded block to use up all our energy. Ritual Dagger, honestly, it deals enough damage most of the time. Because it's really mostly for hallway fights. Once you get to the heart, like, dealing 100 damage is nice, but it's not going to win you the fight, and dealing 60 damage would probably be fine, and you can upgrade something else. It can be good against the Act 4 elites, but only if it gets really big. And we don't have a hologram. I would love a hologram to help us get stuff back from our discard. If we had a hologram, I would definitely upgrade an Apparition, or one of these, so that they'd be great to play and have better odds of playing them, as is. I think Dark Orbs are our best damage, so it's just a matter of what helps us live. I think either Reinforced Body or an Apparition helps us live. I think the Apparition is... Later we're going to be glad we have it. Let's fight an elite. Glacier Apparition Strike works for me. So this fight is a lot better if you draw your Apparitions. On average, so it's 5 turns to get through the rest of our deck. A little less because we have hard card draw. We do get another Apparition, so now we're thinking about how can we deal a bunch of damage. Ritual Dagger will kill it. We're always going to play an Apparition this turn. So, Ritual Dagger deals 24. So, we'll need to play 2 attacks with that. And I think we'll just do that. So, I don't think... we're going to seek... Wait, it does 24 plus 9. So, Strike and Ritual Dagger actually kill it and let us play Defrag. So, I can't believe I'm seeking to get a strike, but that's what we're doing. Alright, and it would take away our artifact charge, but now it does not. We upgrade our thing, we upgrade our focus, and this is a much better start to the fight than last time. 5 energy, so we definitely want to draw some cards. 1, so 2, 3, 4, 5. Or we could try and do some more stuff with Zap Recursion. Let's always play the 2 Apparitions. And I think we want to play the genetic algorithm. So, dual cast Zap deals 16 extra damage basically, and this deals 15, but to a target of our choice. We'd rather kill one of them first and the other later instead of getting them both low on health. Alright, so we block that weak, I think it is? Maybe it's frail. I don't know. Mercury Hourglass is actually doing a lot of work helping us take these things out. Our Lightning Orb is dealing 5 per turn, and that's dealing 6. If we consume in the darkness, we lose our Lightning Orb, and I don't know if that's even better at this point. We have another intangible. Let's actually just buff that Lightning Orb. So now one hit of that and one hit of this destroys it. And I don't know, block as we can. Okay, so now it dies to Mercury Hourglass, and this thing just keeps attacking for 7, so we're in pretty good shape for the rest of the fight. Also, it's dead. It might have been better to save it for Happy Flower, but we didn't. Give me a Darkstone Periapt. Whenever you obtain a curse, increase your max HP with 6. Combined with Duvu Doll, we can't really remove curses very easily with no gold, but if we get offered an event that would give us a curse in exchange for something else, we could think about it. 1 strength and 6 max HP, is that worth a terrible card? Might be. We don't really need a boot sequence when we already have a Bottled Glacier. We can always block on turn 1. And having 2 block cards in our initial 5 seems actually pretty bad. Doubling our energy would be good if we had more card draw. And that would be good if we didn't have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so 5, 7, 8, 9, and kind of 10. Well, no, this doesn't count. The point is, the number of cards in our discard pile would be better if 9 of them didn't exhaust the first time we played them, instead of discarding. Alright, give me an upgrade. Alright, we beat that elite fight. I think we do go for Genetic Alg? Maybe a Ritual Dagger. We're probably not going to be able to kill it with Ritual Dagger this fight, but we probably are going to be able to play Genetic Algorithms. We're probably just going to kill it with a big Dark Orb. Give me some cards. We can save this for later. 9 block is it's finally worth playing. It's going to use up our artifact charge. Let's get that Streamline's cost reduced. Okay, so it did make us vulnerable, but it didn't make us other things. We always play Apparition. We don't want to draw more Apparitions, and we do like to consume. So that's 2 energy to get next turn for free. I guess we could have skipped it and just tried to block next turn, but this is pretty safe, because now we can block the following turn. I don't think we're trying to kill it with anything except a Dark Orb, so this just gives us more block until we get that Dark Orb. We will save that Apparition. Alright, so now we just try and block for a while. Do we want to play this Apparition, or do we want to save it for the next phase of the fight? I think we want to save it. Yeah, it's not even attacking this turn, so I'm glad we didn't play it. We always defrag. I mean, we could Recursion to get that in front for a future dual cast, but I think it's fine. We will get Seek next turn, which is great. If we don't put this in front, we can get one more Frost Orb, but we have to get one more Frost Orb before we can dual cast it. I don't think we're going to dual cast it for a while. Let's deal 11 damage. That way we can evoke that if we need. Alright, let's get an Apparition. Are there any 2 cards we want to play this turn? Alternatively, are there any 2 cards we want to just get out of our deck? We could just get some strikes or some streamlines so that we start drawing like more defensive cards. Because we're just trying to play it safe until we get the dual cast. But also not get the dual cast too soon. This helps us survive, I think. And it deals some damage. We could also take a Cold Snap and a Recursion to deal another 26 damage. That's not really enough to care about, is it? Okay, let's take a couple of streamlines. Alright, it's down to 318. Now we're getting an actual attack. This seems like a pretty good dual cast. Defend, Genetic Algorithm, dual cast. So that blocks. Do we want to zap? Or do we want to wait and try and get a Frost Orb in there with Cold Snap? Let's just deal some damage to it. So right now this deals 96. We don't want to do it this turn. Oh wait, the dual cast is in our discard because we played it on the Frost Orb, so we actually do want to draw some cards. Glacier would be a pretty safe play. But we have an Apparition coming up. So let's do a little more damage. If we had orb slots, I'd try and scale in a different way, but as is, I think we're doing good. Recursion deals a bunch of damage. This blocks for 28, and we get to keep our Apparition. Cold Snap, then Recursion. A Recursion, then Cold Snap keeps this in front, does a bunch of damage. This puts it into phase 2. Do we want it in phase 2? It starts attacking for a lot in phase 2. I think we just try and wait and knock it out of phase 1 with a big Dark Orb later. Phase 2 sucks. We'll hold on to that Apparition for the next time through the deck. And we'll just get some block and keep that ticking up. 31 damage, we can usually block. So this would be 12. 18. So we would take 13, or we could just play the Apparition. I think we'd play the Apparition, get a little energy next turn, get it a little closer to splitting, but not quite there, and move on. 25 is an attack I can totally handle. Alright, we're going to get dual cast soon. It's going to hit us pretty big this turn. I think it's time to start the split, because then it doesn't attack. After it splits, it spends a turn buffing and not attacking. Then we can evoke the Frost Orb to get a little block, and get this back in front for dual cast. So now, as soon as we draw dual cast, the fight is over. We wait. We could deal 92 damage this turn, but next turn, we have really good odds of either drawing dual cast, which ends the fight. Okay, we have 9 cards. 5 out of 9 chance we get dual cast. 6 out of... If we get overclock, that draws 3. So then we draw 8 cards, and we get compile driver. So we're guaranteed, which draws more cards, so we're guaranteed to get dual cast if we get overclock. So 6 out of 9, we definitely kill next turn. If we draw compile driver, that draws 2 cards. So it is possible we could get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then just draw both the strikes, and that would suck. And it's possible we could get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But I think our odds of killing next turn with dual cast are pretty good. What are our odds of killing next turn if we Darkness and then Glacier? So Darkness right now would deal 100 damage. No, sorry. So Darkness would deal 92 damage. Then it would have a Dark Orb that starts at 6. Then we could Glacier to deal another 14. So we could deal 106 this turn. So that leaves it at like 30 plus health, and it's gonna block, and yeah, I think that's much worse next turn. So let's just reinforce our bod and really hope we get the dual cast that we really need. Okay, we get dual cast. Whew. The odds that we didn't get dual cast or overclock and like didn't compile driver into it were really low, but they existed, and it would have been a really sad way to lose. But we've won the champ fight. Dex Potion. Another Seek, Rainbow. Meteor Strike we can sometimes play, and it's really good when we can. Rainbow is another way to get a Dark Orb, but we just don't have orb slots. Seek is another Apparition. It's a way to get Apparition when we need it. It's hard to say no to Seek. I think these might make the deck better. Especially if we get 5 energy here. Meteor Strike just gets us a lot of energy. I think we'd like a Seek, though. Okay. We could get Snackawai. So I watched a great video by the YouTuber Jorbs, who plays a lot of Slay the Spire and is really good at it, and Jorbs explained a really good thing, which is that Snackawai is a great relic for pretty much every character, but one thing that makes it difficult on Defect is Defect has a lot of Defect decks really rely on playing certain cards the first time you draw them. So we really want to play Defrag the first time we draw it. We really want to play all these unupgraded apparitions the first time we draw them. Our deck isn't as heavily reliant on that as some, but that is one thing to think about. Nuclear Battery would be good if we had taken the Meteor Strike that gives all the plasma. I think we'll take the Philo Stone. The downside is often negated by Apparition, and our block game is pretty good, so we'll take some energy. The extra card draw from Snecko, don't get me wrong, that'd be really good, but I'm worried about getting some important cards at a bad cost. We need to fight the Super Elite, so we have to go this direction, and we can get a Campfire and Elite in a couple events, so I guess that's our path. We can seek for a Ritual Dagger. That deals 27, which is perfect. Then we can Glacier and Consume, or we could Glacier and Streamline. We want to kill this thing before it explodes. I think Streamline gets us there a little faster than Consume. Alright, let's get our genetic algorithm before they all die. Let's get a Streamline to help speed up the whole they all die thing. So we'll block. Let's do that. Okay, that kills that. So now we can get some focus and do that. It'll slowly die to Mercury Hourglass. Ideally, we can kill it with Happy Flower on the right number. I'm happy to wait another turn. Bad luck. Happy Flower is going to be back at 0. Okay. Worth a shot. We don't need a bunch of energy. We have a lot of block. We could discard Apparitions with this, which is sometimes good and sometimes very bad. We only have, like, 3 cards that cost 0 on our deck, so most of the time this is deal 9 damage, discard 4 cards. So it's a strike that messes up your deck. We could Glacier, Streamline, Strike. That's pretty good, but I'm okay seeing if we draw something better. Consume, Glacier, Strike, I really like. We could also Dual Cast. Dual Cast deals more damage than Strike. Okay, so now our block is looking strong. Also, we have a bunch of Apparitions. We could Recursion and Darkness to get one of those going, or we could Recursion and Zap to do a little damage, but try and get it in range for... We could Zap and Recursion. Yeah, I want to do some damage. But I want to kill it with Ritual Dagger, not with a giant Dark Orb. Cool, genetic algorithm. Can we kill it with Ritual Dagger this turn? 30 damage. 37. And we can get a strike. Happy Flower isn't at the ideal number. If we don't play it this turn, we draw a bunch of apparitions. We could get Happy Flower up to a better number and still be guaranteed to kill and take 0 damage. So let's just take a defrag and a... Let's get a burn out of the way. So, this way we can definitely kill with Ritual Dagger. It won't die to this or that, and it will die to this. Happy Flower is at 1. I am flowerily happy with that. 1 week is not that good anymore. We need card draw. This messes up our orb slots, so it's actively bad at this point, and we already talked about why we don't need boot sequence. We want an elite. Purple Fire Spirits. So we could offer a card, get a reward. If we offer a rare, so if we offered up Seek, we would get max HP, but we don't want that. We could offer up a Strike. Honestly, I think Strike is better than Streamline now. 9 damage for 1 energy or 15 for 2. I think I'd rather have a Strike Plus than a Streamline. Sorry, Streamline. You toss an offering into the bonfire. The flames grow slightly brighter. The spirits continue dancing. You feel slightly warmer from their presence. You heal 5 HP. But we're at full HP, so it doesn't matter. Good Ritual Dagger. So this one attacks us. This one shuffles statuses into our deck. I think I prefer the attacks to the statuses. Apparition does not matter, so let's do a little damage. I mean, Apparition is great, but we're fully blocked, so it's not going to do anything. Now this dies to Mercury Glass. We play our genetic algorithm, so now we are just trying to win the fight, and I think if we take Defragment Consume, we're in good shape. We could Seek for Seek to get that. Or we could just take Consume. Alright, so now it's just a matter of having Happy Flower at a number we like, and also trying to beat the fight without taking damage. Which is usually pretty easy to do when we have 5 apparitions. So if we can kill it this turn, we want to. If not, we want to wait a while. With that, we can wait a while pretty effectively. We don't need a Frost Orb if we have all of that intangible. Okay, so let's get this Dark Orb in front. We'd like to get a little damage done. Let's reshuffle our draw pile. The thing is, this thing keeps blocking, so it's hard to get it at low health and keep it there. What do we want to seek? I'm gonna do that. Get it low on health, but not low enough to die. I could seek to just get a burn and another card we don't care about. We don't care about darkness anymore, so let's just get those out of our deck. We are fully blocked. If we strike, it would die to Mercury Hourglass next turn, which I don't think we want. I think we can kill it next turn, even if it gets a bunch of block. But we could also kill it this turn and have Happy Flower at 1. Let's believe in our dreams. Draw some cards. Oh, that's sad. Oh, that's sad. Alright, let's continue to stall. It's not that important to have Happy Flower at 2, but it's fun. And if we can keep full blocking without any price, why not? Alright. So, we're very blocked with a 6 energy reinforced body. And next turn it dies to Mercury Hourglass, which is just what we want. A 4 energy reinforced body is also good enough, so Happy Flowers at 2. We get a Cultist Potion, which is awesome. And we get a Skim. I think we'd really like some card draw. We can afford a Dexterity Potion, and that is really good with our Clockwork Souvenir. I think we can do okay without a Smoke Bomb at this point, so let's take our last shop item. Ideally, we could take that into the Heart Fight or the Act 4 Elites, maybe the boss if it's tough. So a Seek upgrade is really good, an Apparition upgrade is pretty decent. Lets us do better in the second half of the fight. Donu Deco we're probably going to have to kill with Dark Orbs again. That we just don't have a better way to deal damage. If we had more orb slots, we could get a lot of focus and a lot of orbs. We just have our starting orb slots. I'd like to get a Cultist Potion in this fight. This is a tough fight. Use a block that we can block. We don't really have any area of effect damage outside of Mercury Hourglass, but we have a lot of intangible. So we just need to kill them. What's good at killing them? Getting a Dark Orb started is good at killing them. Let's draw some cards, see what we get for free. We're not going to kill it with Ritual Dagger this turn. We're going to play this. These are going to add a ton of wounds into our deck, but I think I'm okay with that. So let's get a Dark Orb and a Consume. So then we Dark, then we Cold Snap. This will keep a wound out of our deck, which is good to do. Then we Consume. We can save that Apparition for later. Alright. Because these things die after some attacking, so it's not actually a huge deal. This blocks for 35, 40, so we can block that pretty well. But we could also draw an Apparition and just do that. In which case we can also Skim and just play another Apparition. Strike? Alright, so Dual Cast is out of our deck. This turn we are intangible and we have block. Seek will do nothing for us. I think we do want to be intangible next turn as well. Shame we couldn't use that, because our draw pile was empty. Alright, time to draw some cards. Can we kill with Ritual Dagger? That's 40. That's 35. Another 23. So 75, 98. No, but it's not bad. And I mean, we're not going to kill it with Ritual Dagger this fight, so let's just get it in a state where we can do that. We have not played Genetic Algorithm. I would like to play Genetic Algorithm, and I feel comfortable in our ability to wait for that right now, even if it doesn't put Happy Flower at the ideal number. I know. Next turn, our worst possible hand would be Burn, Wound. Okay, there is no hand we can draw next turn that... Okay, if we do Recursion and Zap and Burn and Wound, and those would be 4 card and Genetic Algorithm, there is a very low chance we would be unable to kill that, but it's pretty unlikely. I'm okay waiting for that. We would have to draw exactly those cards and get the worst possible luck with both Zap and Recursion to not kill the big one. I think the odds of that happening are very low. And even if it does, genetic algorithm is a big block. As you can see, we just get a big strike. Or do we get happy flower at 2? We're fully blocked and we're guaranteed to draw an attack next turn, so yeah. Works for me. And you may wonder how much these like little tiny optimizations matter, like getting happy flower at 2 all the time, getting, you know, genetic algorithm and ritual dagger played, but the thing is, like, you know, why do we need that if we're winning? And the answer is, a lot of times we're winning without taking damage because we have a big genetic algorithm, a big ritual dagger, and extra energy on turn 1. It just keeps us from getting in a... If we keep doing it, we keep being in a state where we can do it. Now, defragment is really good, but I think creative AI, we kind of don't really have a way to, like, get more orb slots, get more focus. Creative AI is kind of a sucky way to do that, because you don't know when it's going to happen, but we have a bunch of apparitions, and a genetic algorithm, and a big reinforced body, often with more dexterity. So as much as I love defragment, I think we actually take creative AI, and it helps us win fights that we might otherwise struggle with, because we can block for a while we scale. Now this enemy can add a curse into our deck. We can keep that from happening, but if we let it happen, we get +1 strength and +6 max HP, but we get a really bad card in our deck. I think I'm going to play this turn first and see how it looks. So this is the curse. So we could choose to get the curse right now. I don't really want to get the curse right now. Does 53 max HP and 1 strength better than having a bad card in our deck? Strength doesn't really matter. We're not killing with strength. And max HP isn't a huge deal if we're mostly blocking with apparition and a giant genetic algorithm. So I think it's still not a thing we want. If we strike, it could go back to doing the curse again. But I think we can pretty safely dual cast here for a little damage. This enemy changes its intent when it receives attack damage, and Lightning Orb is not attack damage. If we Apparition, Cold Snap, we're very blocked. We could Zap Apparition. Or if we Cold Snap, well, we don't have to play these. We could just play one. But I don't know if this fight goes that long. Let's get a Lightning Orb in front. Let's save one of these for later. Card draw time. Play our Apparitions. Get a Dark Orb to... as one way to finish it. We'd prefer to finish it with Ritual Dagger, but take what you get. Creative AI, Genetic Algorithm works for me. It's nothing we really want to seek, but we might not want to draw those next turn. Play this or save it. I mean, we could get a Streamline and a Recursion just out of the way. Then next turn we're going to shuffle our draw pile anyway. I think let's just play this. Alright, Creative AI has given us a Creative AI. How creative. It's not very creative. We could up our creativity. What do we want to seek for? For Creative AI and seek for Reinforced Body, that's pretty good. Ritual Dagger odds not looking great. Creative AI is fun. We could Recursion, and then we're fully blocked. And we could seek for a card we hate. We have 1 energy. We would just seek for a... We could seek for a dual cast, deal 56 damage, get it in Ritual Dagger range. But I don't know if we can afford to shuffle through our entire draw pile again just to get our Ritual Dagger from 36 to 39. Let's play a... Let's get a strike out of our deck and not even play it. Alright, we get a bunch of focus. It has not blocked our... It has not gotten rid of our artifact charge, so now we just get 4 focus for free. We also get some orb slots. So, like... Now we're pretty Gucci. Get some energy next turn. Get some block. Okay, so now we actually probably can wait to kill with Ritual Dagger. We want to stop that. Yeah, we'll play both of these. Why not? We're fully blocked for a long time. We can never evoke this. It'll just kill it. I mean, we could evoke it if we do it right away. Okay. Yeah, this is fine. Now we're blocked forever, and it is in Ritual Dagger range, so we'll draw some cards. We'll get extra block, because why not? Cool. So Creative AI got us a Ritual Dagger stack we would not otherwise have gotten. Let's get some focus. It is going to block. But since we have Echo Form, Ritual Dagger is going to kill pretty thoroughly. We'll draw extra cards. I mean, we're just having fun at this point, right? Happy Flower is a consideration, but not as much as Ritual Dagger. We could seek for Ritual Dagger, but let's get it a little lower on health. Cool. I like 26. It's not blocking. Alright. We can just end turn until we draw out at this point. We've drawn it. It kills. Cultist Potion is great. Lots of those this fight. Barrage would be nice if we had that capacitor all the time, but we don't. FTL helps us draw cards sometimes, but if we draw it with our other cards, it's often garbage. It's not very good against the heart. And all it really does is do 6 damage and play an attack, and neither... We don't really care about playing an extra card. Sometimes it's actively bad. Moving on. Well, Barrage could be really good with our Cultist Potion. But I think we have other ways of finishing the heart. Alright, we've already taken the blue key. Horncleat rules. Okay, we could dig, we could upgrade. What would we upgrade? We would upgrade Seek with Creative AI. Dig is an extra relic. Let's recall and think about what we want at the next campfire. Actual garbage. It's already a really bad relic, and now it's legitimately even slightly more useless than before. This is a good Seek turn. How are we killing this one? It's not doing anything. This seems like a good time to play Creative AI and then Glacier, and we can just get a strike out of our deck. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Uses up our artifact charge. Let's draw some cards. We don't care about a Storm. Storm is actually kind of bad because it keeps us from getting a bunch of Frost Storms. Sure, why not? And our strikes are 13 and 14. It's not a bunch, but it's something. Two Creative AIs. There's nothing else we really want to play. Alright. Still not the big attack turn. We get a bias cog, but we don't have an artifact charge anymore. I mean, 4 focus is really good, but this might be a long fight. No reason not to play Static Discharge. And We might want to stall this fight indefinitely just to wait for Ritual Dagger and Happy Flower. So, with that in mind, even though we can get a bunch of powers, and even though this is really good, I think I'm going to wait. Especially because we have Intangible to get us through until Creative AI makes us very strong. It's really tempting me, though. I'd like to play a Consume. So if we did this, we could have done that just to Channel Lightning. If we did this now, it's 43 damage. I think we can do better. Alright, Creative AI, I've got a couple of you. Give me some powers that are good. Heat Sink's Defrag is not bad. The Glacier might have been safer because we're not intangible next turn, and it does start to attack a bunch. I could Reinforced Body for 35. Yikes, do I actually have to think now? Capacitor is incredibly good. We always want to draw cards. We have an Apparition, so we can just chill. We got one more Apparition on our deck. I think if we Capacitor... Let's draw some cards. Let's draw some cards. Oh, we only had room for one. Okay, we'll just toss out an Apparition. We could get another Lightning Orb. We could get a bunch of Focus to help with that Frost Orb. I think at this point we're running out of Apparitions, so just getting a bunch of Focus right now starts to be appealing. I want Frost Orbs. We got a Genetic out, so we need to start killing it with Zap. Or just get a little more defense right now. I think we need a little more defense right now. Alright. This helps a lot. But we're still gonna get hit a solid amount here, which is unfortunate. Let's just get those in here. We're guaranteed an Apparition next turn, and a Consume, and a Bias Cog if we want them. Consume is good with Orb slots. Ooh, drawing a card was actually bad there, because I forgot we had Heat Sinks in play. Okay, so we take 7. Buffer is good. Buffer is basically another Apparition. So since we played Buffer, we don't play Apparition. We really like Loop. That makes our Frost Orb better. We really like Consume. On the other hand, no wait, Apparition lets us keep the buffer stack, so we do want to keep that. So now if there's ever a turn we can't block, Buffer is just going to protect us. Let's Recursion a Cold Snap. Or Recursion a Frost Orb, get a Cold Snap in play. Get a Machine Learning. Get some energy next turn. So this is going to use our buffer. Let's get started on killing it. This is kind of a tricky elite for our deck, actually. Alright, what do we have? Glacier is incredible. We want that, but we need to make room for it. Also, we might be able to kill it. So this just draws one card. This draws one card and gives us damage. Good Speed Potion for our Defends. We're dealing 36 damage at the end of the turn. Okay, we can block for 28, which is not that much anymore. Oh, but if we use our Speed Potion, it's a bunch. It's a shame to lose that Speed Potion. What do we get here? I'm not seeing a lot of better options. If we strike, that's 12. Then, so 36, so 72. So that's not going to quite do it, even with a little bonus from playing other cards first. For Creative AI, that's another 17. That's not going to do it. We could Dex Potion and do this for 36. Plus 22, that's... Sorry, Speed Pot. Okay, so 48 plus 22 is 70. That's about as good as we're gonna get. No, wait, the defends are better. Okay, we take 4 damage. Giant head fight isn't usually supposed to go on this long. But it is over now. Last chance at Ritual Dagger there. Okay, one more last chance. Alright. Maybe got a little greedy that fight, but we lost a good potion. But, you know what? We beat the Super Elite. We got a little strength. We got an Emerald Key. And I like a multicast a lot, actually. It helps us with that Dark Orb. If that's... Dark Orb is a way we can kill enemies. This thing is just defeated by Apparition. I guess Lightning Orbs are just better, huh? I mean, if we have Frost Orbs and we just play Apparitions, this thing is done. I don't think we can reasonably kill it with Darkness, so our only goal is to play Genetic Algorithm. Let's get another Apparition, Genetic Algorithm. Cool. Pretty easy fight, hopefully. As long as we don't die next turn. And channeling some lightning will be good for that. And some energy next turn. We do get probably an Apparition next turn. We get an Apparition. We get a little block. Alright. Easy fight. Orb Slot Potion. That's really good for us. Force Field. Force Field is pretty good block. Well, it's 12 block. We have a bunch of powers. Are we going to upgrade it, though? What are we going to upgrade? Or do we just dig? Leap is 12 block for 1 energy. This is 12 block for 0 energy eventually. I think we could use 12 block for 1 energy. It helps us skip playing some Apparitions. Our upgraded ones when we can. You got anything for 5 gold? Wow, nothing. Surprise. So our options here are we either upgrade Seek, which is really good. I don't think we need to upgrade Creative AI. We either play it or we don't. And we have 5 energy, so I don't think it's an issue. Or we could get a new relic. So is a relic better than a better Seek? I think it is. It's not. Healing 2 at the start of the heart fight is not that great. So we're at 14 block. It's attacking for 26. If we do a compile driver and then a reinforced body, it's fine. Do we want to take some to deal this? I think we use a ritual potion this fight. These things can scale really big, and we need a way to scale on our own. A lot of stuff to think about this fight, but a lot of these turns are pretty simple. Like, of course we draw cards. I mean, we could just... Hold on, it's attacking for 32. So this is 6... 18, 26. Yeah, like we could. We're gonna draw cards here. We could use our Genetic Alg. I'd like to save it. If we recursion, that's 5, then 17, then 23. Then we could dual cast to block a little more. So we would lose one Frost Orb, but we would save both of these for later in the fight. I think that's good. We could also Apparition and Streamline, but I don't think that's as important as keeping our big blocks. So we take 1. I'm fine with taking 1. Storm is bad, I think. We like that. I think we like that. And we like a defrag? Maybe we like a darkness. We got a little more intangible. Let's make this work for us. Get that started. We do still have our artifact charge, so there are very few things that would convince me not to do that. I mean, we could play a defrag, but we could also just save this for the next time through our deck. With 4 card draw, I feel pretty confident in our next turn, especially with an extra energy from Happy Flower. Stop giving me Storm. I don't want any more Storm. Okay, we're gonna draw cards. There's not a good way to use that Dark Orb this turn. We are getting attacked for a bunch, so we could just Glacier. I don't think we have a good way to keep that Dark Orb and block this turn. Actually, that blocks pretty well. We could consume Glacier and go down to 1 orb slot. I kind of like having 2 orb slots, though, compared to 1. This doesn't double our focus, and it cuts our benefit from focus in half. I don't think there's a good excuse not to Glacier here, so sorry, Dark Orb, you are a beautiful dream. We're gonna have to kill with Creative AI. Do I think I'm gonna be able to Ritual Dagger this fight? Or here's a better question. Does it matter if I Ritual Dagger this fight? 3 extra damage doesn't matter at all against the heart. It rarely matters against the elites, so let's just win this fight. That's the important thing to think about. Like, how does this help me win the run? We can fully block with just Leap, Defend, Recursion. But I think drawing cards is good, right? There are cards that we want to play. Are there? Or are these just defensive cards we want to save? Well, there's a bunch of Dazes we want to get rid of. Alright, maybe that wasn't the best. Yep. And a bunch. So they're going to keep gaining strength. Okay, we got an Echo Form. The bad news is we don't have any block. We have a stack. We always want a Compile Driver, right? Okay. We got an Apparition. I think we play it. We can Echo Form the next Apparition, which is really nice. We could Echo Form a Ritual Dagger to kill that. I'm hoping we kill it before we get that far in our deck again. Also, we did already play Ritual Dagger. Whoops. Echo Form Genetic Algorithm is a good stack. We could start Echo Forming Storm, and then just channel a bunch of Lightning and just try and end the fight really quick. I think that's actually a good play. We get a power card every turn, so we can play it twice, and playing it twice channels 2 Lightning twice. So we can channel 4 Lightning with 9 focus, which is a lot. Let's hologram another Storm. Should have done that first. Block a bunch and zap. Alright. So this ought to finish the fight. It would have been nice to double play Genetic Algorithm. Double play Buffer does full block for us, so I feel like that's good to do. So we want to kill next turn. So let's play this and start thinking about Happy Flower. Alright, so if we just play the power, it's good. Yeah, it seems nice. 6 Lightning with 9 focus. It seemed like it won. We do not get any money to buy a potion at the shop. I'm really missing that Dex potion. But you know what? We survived the Giant Head fight. We're going on to Act 3. It would have been great to have 5 Dex for the heart fight. Do we want to upgrade Seek or take a shot at another relic? Seek can be really important when we need it to be important, but we also only need it to get 1 apparition on the really bad turns. And I have a dream. You know what, upgrading an apparition would have been really good, but Mummified Hand with Creative AI is going to be excellent. What do you got for me? Nothing, huh? What a jerk. Out of my price range. So rude. Oh yeah, so this Ascension level buffed the bosses. We get a Seek on turn 1, we get Glacier, so we can Glacier, Defrag, we got 6 energy. We can do a big Ritual Dagger, so we can spend most of our energy. But I think Glacier, Defrag, Creative AI is really good. Oh yeah, we have Mummified Hand. So let's take a Creative AI. Let's take 2 powers, probably. Creative AI. Oh, we don't have any other powers. What's a card that would be nice if it costs 0, but not a big deal if we don't play it? Streamline, we'll play it if it costs 0, and if not, it's fine. Defend costs 0. So we Glacier, and then we Creative AI. Let's Creative AI first. Okay, why would I play Streamline here? Which way do we want to face? We don't know which one is going to do the big attack next turn. You often want to kill the Spire Spear first. Even though it has more health, this thing blocks itself a bunch. Okay, give me apparitions. Genetic algorithm plus reinforced body is... okay, so 12, 48, and we're being attacked at 48, and then we could get an additional 21, so that would be a bunch, and also we're being attacked for 66. Okay, so let me see. We already have 14 block thanks to Horn Cleats. We have 22, so we just need to block for 44. So Leap plus Reinforced Body does it, and we save Genetic Alg. Let's play Storm. Do we play Darkness for free? Do we skim and play a bunch of apparitions, or do we just fully block this turn? If we leap, that's 12. So we're at 26 and then 34. And then another 21 blocks for 55, which is not enough against 66. Let's draw some cards. Okay, we'll spin one of those. We'll get a Darkness. Do we want to spin this or save it? We got 3 more in our deck. Let's save this for the next time around. And just get some of that. Alright. $58 is a big hit, but not with an apparition. We have 2 Storm. So we're just going to play our apparitions and start killing them with lightning orbs, I think. That works for me. So if that was our plan, we probably should have played the apparition last turn. Electrodynamics is going to be incredible here, so that wins the fight for us. So it would have been nice to play a Genetic Alg back when it mattered. We don't want to kill next turn because Happy Flower. We get Genetic Algorithm, hooray! So, we fully block. These will not quite kill, then we kill with it on 2. Cool. If we do this, it's 12 plus 7 twice. We don't want that to block. I didn't do my math right. That thing super dies. It's fine. We got Genetic Algorithm. Happy Flower on 1, we get an Nunchaku to get some extra energy sometimes. We do get a potion. Another creative AI. I'm kind of into it, because I think creative AI is kind of important for us to win against the heart. And if we don't get creative AI or seek, if we're not able to play the first one soon, I don't know, I think this is just an extra safety net. Alright, that was an easy turn. Let's get some decks. I will save these potions. I mean, we probably want orb slots. We could have had an extra lightning orb there, but I don't know. These in front is nice. Okay. Apparition, creative AI, strike. Easy turn. We've already used our artifact charge, so I don't know if we want to start losing focus every turn this early in the fight. This is going to be a long fight. Let's gain some block, draw some cards. Alright, so we definitely Apparition and Apparition. And then do we dual cast or charge battery? This blocks for all of it. This blocks for 5, 8, 16. This fully blocks. So no reason to waste our Frost Orb. Alright, at this point in the fight we're looking pretty good. Do we defend to save 1 health? I don't think we do. Maybe now we do. Okay, we should have in the first place. I think it's time to get some orb slots. But do we want to fill them with lightning, or do we want to save that for frost? Let's save that for frost. If we fill up with a bunch of frost orbs and a bunch of focus, then we can just keep playing powers and we're good. Alright, I like this. Now is a good time to potion of capacity. We could have consumed a dark orb to get more room for frost orbs, I guess. That's a reasonable play. We do want to play this at some point. And let's move that dark orb a little closer to the front. Alright, 5 times 15. A genetic algorithm is good. Yikes, that Philosopher's Stone is kind of biting us here, huh? But that's only 75. We can block for 75. That's 14 right there. This is the genetic algorithm turn. Wait, we could multicast to gain 10 block 5 times? So that's 50, and then we have another 21 minus 2. So that blocks for 69. Nice. And if we leap, it blocks for even more. This is actually not the genetic algorithm turn, I don't think. Defrag makes that better. Buffer is good, and then we defend for free. And then we could seek for a multicast. We don't want 2 cards. We want to have both of these next turn. Let's get the multicast. And I'd rather have the genetic algorithm in our discard because we can seek for it if we want it. Or we can seek for something else. Okay, 75. This is 24. So 50. And this would block for another 33. If we do it twice, it'll block for 22. But we want to save that buffer stack. So it's not worth playing Ritual Dagger here. Sorry, Ritual Dagger. Oh wait, our buffer stack goes away. Just to block 1 damage, that's sad. Okay, defend, defrag, machine learning, these are great powers. Seek for a consume. Seek for a dual cast. I like a consume here. Seek for a glacier, actually. That just seems like the safest option. We don't want a compile driver because we don't want to waste good card draws. Yikes, that's a lot of damage. But we can block for a bunch. I really wish we had an apparition, because I would actually totally let it hit me 15 times with static discharge. But we can do that later, maybe. We have one. Okay, so if we evoke 5 times, that's 60 block. We're getting attacked for, yikes, 105. I think it's time for some bias cognition. Do you want to get some lightning in play? This blocks for more this turn, but then we lose our frost orbs. We have to do damage eventually, but do we have to do it now? So this blocks for 80, so then we're fully blocked. I'm gonna go down to 2 frost orbs to do some extra damage. We do have our bias cog in play, so we're trying to end the fight at this point. Let's take another bias cog, yikes. 50 damage. 50 damage is nothing. I'm not worried about 50 damage. I take 50 damage for breakfast. So if we overclock, we could draw Apparition, and we really want to have Apparition on a turn where we're getting attack times 15. Oh, so bosses are deadlier is when it goes from attacks times 12 to attacks times 15. Let's get biased. Alright, get a little energy next turn. We could get 4 more focus and lose it over a few more turns. I think that's good. If this fight goes more than... I mean, that benefits us for 4 turns, and then on, like, turn 5 it starts to be undesirable, but if this goes for, like, 6 more turns, we're in danger anyway. Alright, I think it's time to go full damage. We've got an Apparition and a Genetic Organ and a Skim, and we draw extra cards at the start of each turn. And if it does the multi-attack, the Apparition is incredible. If it does the multi-attack, the Apparition practically kills it. So if it does the big attack, we have a buffer. So that's what we'll do. So we're going to avoid drawing cards, so we're not going to play Heat Sinks yet. Okay, and we play... Oh, we didn't... We messed up. We had 1 energy. We could have played both. Oh well. Attack times 52. We are completely safe, thanks to our buffer stack. We are losing 3 focus every turn, but we could gain 4 more. We want to keep that... We don't want to draw cards. We want that Apparition next turn. But another static discharge just kills, right? We're going to play this just to protect our buffer stack. And you know what? Since we didn't play Heat Sinks, we can just do all this stuff. Alright, this is starting to look like a heart kill. We do not want to skim. We want a Ritual Dagger. Next turn we have Apparition, and if it does the multi-attack, it's going to be awesome. Oh, I love this. Okay. And we don't need to block. You know, I'd like to draw a couple cards. Yeah, give me a Defend. Give me a Creative Eye, give me a Defrag, give me a Streamline, give me a Slime. Would love a Consume, but I'll make do without it. I just want to play these to take more damage, and now we channel Lightning a lot. It didn't even matter, it's dead. Okay, that was a fun defect run. I liked that finish. Blasting through that heart, pretty good. That Potion of Capacity helped, and you know what? Creative AI saved the day there, I think. I don't know if we had that without Creative AI. We picked it up pretty late in the run, and it killed the heart for us. Unlock me something. Maestro. Emotion Chip, Symbiotic Virus, and Data Disc. So these are all, you see the blue outline, these are all exclusively defect relics. Motion Chip. If you lost HP during the previous turn, trigger the passive ability of all orbs at the start of your turn. So this is really good with a lot of things. It's incredibly good with apparitions because it's really easy to take 1 damage. It's pretty good in a heart fight because you can just play a non-block card first and then get all your orbs triggered for free at the start of each turn. Symbiotic Fire. So at the start of each combat, channel 1 dark. So it's kind of like Cracked Core. It's pretty good. It can be useful. And Data Disc. I love it. Start each combat with 1 focus. You just never don't want that. Alright, and that's the end of the run. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks you. Oof, nice ending.